I am speaking to you now because your heart has been asking and the hour has come close, and I do not want you to miss what I have prepared. 2 hours are set like lamps in the doorway, and I am standing in that doorway calling your name with kindness that does not fade. I am not late, I am exact. I am not distant, I am here. I have seen the weight you carried quietly, the words you swallowed so others would not break, the nights you hid your tears so no one would worry. I have counted those moments not to replay them against you, but to show you how carefully I have guarded the tender places you thought were unattended. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are not standing in the wrong story. I am the author and the finisher, and I am bringing a chapter that has waited for your yes, a page that only turns with courage, a sentence that announces joy like morning light sliding through a cracked curtain. For 2 hours the gate will feel unusually close, and the steps will feel unusually clear. Walk. Lift your head. Breathe the calm I am pouring into your ribs. This is the time to receive rather than to doubt, to open rather than to argue with the memory of pain. I do not need your perfect performance, I am inviting your willing heart, I am placing before you that one thing your soul has named again and again in the hidden room. You gave it many titles over the years: hope, answer, confirmation, companionship, healing, provision, direction, but I have seen that it is the same seed under different seasons. You asked for it timidly at first, then stubbornly, then quietly when the stubbornness grew tired. You watched others harvest what looked like your dream and wondered if you had somehow offended heaven. You did not offend me. Time is not a punishment, it is a path. Waiting was not me ignoring you, it was me forming you so the gift would not injure you when it arrived. A blessing that comes too soon can break the hands that hold it. I have strengthened your hands. I have widened the room of your chest to hold joy without fear of losing yourself. I have taught your eyes to recognize me in ordinary days so you would not mistake me in extraordinary moments. Now the extraordinary is approaching, and it wears the familiar fragrance of my presence. You will know it is from me because it will not demand that you become someone else to keep it. It will not ask you to shrink. It will not drag you into secrecy that corrodes the soul. It will lift your voice into thanksgiving and settle your feet into peace. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold to ensure no counterfeit slides through in the last hour. He does not replace me, he serves at my command, reinforcing the line I drew around you while you slept and while you worked and while your mind wandered to what-ifs and how-longs. He is posted not because you are in danger of losing what I promised, but because I want you to move from fear to confidence. Release panic, it has no assignment here. Lay down suspicion, it is a poor guard and a poor guide. I will protect what I give. I will teach you how to keep what comes from me. The signal will be simple, a gentle certainty that keeps breathing even when circumstances try to hold their breath, a quiet gladness that refuses to perform for approval, a clarity that aligns your next right step. When the door opens, and it will, you will not need to sprint through it as if I might change my mind. Walk with the dignity I have been weaving into you in secret. You are not an accident stumbling into good fortune, you are a beloved one stepping into prepared goodness. You have told yourself that you must do something dramatic to earn this, that if you fast harder or speak louder or post more verses you will catch my attention. Hear me, you already have my attention. I am not a distant star to be reached by tall ladders, I am the breath that keeps your lungs faithful and the light that keeps your eyes soft. What I desire from you in this hour is not a performance but an agreement. Agree with me that you are worthy to receive because I say you are. Agree with me that the past does not outlaw your future because I paid for the bridge with my kindness. Agree with me that forgiveness is not a loophole for the guilty to escape but a door for the willing to heal. Let go of the habit of almost receiving. The day of nearly is finished. The time of grasping without peace is over. I want you to hold with peace, keep with gratitude, share with wisdom. I watched you when you felt small in rooms that confused loudness with leadership. I watched you choose gentleness when sarcasm offered a quick defense. I watched you keep a promise when it cost you, and I wrote that quiet integrity into the ledger of this blessing. Understand this, I am not trading your suffering for this gift as if you paid me and I owed you change. I am honoring the shape of your heart as it conformed to my love in pressure. Love uses pressure like a potter uses his hands, it does not crush. It forms. You have been formed for joy, and joy is now looking for you with the same persistence you used to look for answers. Hear the sound it makes. It is not a trumpet that startles you into sprinting, it is a bell that guides you toward home. Follow it today. In the 2 hours ahead, remove the clutter of predictions you borrowed from fear. Return the borrowed dread. Lift your eyes. Speak blessing over the hallway you're walking down. Bless the phone that will ring. Bless the door that will knock. Bless the message that will arrive. Bless the decision that will no longer feel like a maze but like a line painted in bright confidence. You have been tested by delay, and delay taught you to distinguish me from distraction. You will use that discernment now. When a choice presents itself with ease but brings a shadow, pause. When a choice requires courage but carries peace, step. I am not hiding my will from you like a riddle, I am handing it to you like bread. Eat. Strength will return to your routines. Light will return to rooms you stopped visiting because they held too many memories. I am not erasing your story, I am redeeming it so the same hallway that once echoed with grief will learn the sound of laughter again. Laughter will not be a betrayal of those who suffered with you, it will be the testimony that suffering did not win. Do you remember how you told yourself you would be happy when everything made sense? I am giving you a better promise, you will be happy while everything is being made whole. Happiness that waits for perfection is forever late, joy that roots in my presence is never out of season. You believed for a long time that acceptance meant agreeing that what hurt you was good. It does not. Acceptance in my kingdom means acknowledging what was and letting me write what will be. I will not waste your wounds, and I will not define you by them. I am not the author of cruelty, and I do not partner with shame. If a voice enters your mind in these hours and tells you to hide, to mask, to pretend you do not long for what I promised. Recognize that voice as a thief rehearsing an old script. Close the curtain on that drama. Open the window to my wind. Let your prayer be simple, almost childlike in its trust. I am ready to receive what you give and to release what you did not. Pray it again when doubts tap the glass. Pray it when the memory of disappointment tries to make a home on your pillow. You will notice that the room feels lighter when you speak with me like this, because truth opens windows. The one thing I am giving you is not just an object or an outcome, it is a living alignment that gathers loose threads and binds them without constricting your breath. It will arrive in a form you can recognize and a timing you can handle. Some will see it and call it sudden, you will know it was prepared. Some will say you are lucky, you will know you are loved. Some will ask how you knew what to choose, you will say that peace chose you first. Do not apologize for finally standing where you belong. Do not shrink so others can remain comfortable in their unbelief. Your humility is not smallness, it is accuracy about who the giver is. Lift your gratitude like a lantern and let it show the way for those who still think they must trick heaven to be noticed. Tell them what I tell you now, beloved, you are noticed, and every good gift I give carries my signature of rest. Archangel Michael is clearing the path of the needless detours you used to take when anxiety demanded proof on its own strict schedule. You do not owe anxiety another tour of your future. I have already walked your tomorrow and returned to guide you through today. When you feel the familiar tug to check, to compare, to reopen old verdicts, hand that tug to me. I will not shame you for the habit, I will retrain it into vigilance for goodness. Watch for kindness ambushing you in ordinary places. Watch for favor disguised as responsibility you are ready to carry. Watch for conversations that close the book gently on a chapter you were afraid would never end. When you notice these things, do not speed past them to hunt a bigger sign. Collect them like smooth stones and build an altar of remembrance in your heart. Altars are not only for sorrow, build one for joy so you can return to it when the road stretches and the horizon wavers in heat. There will be a moment today, a text, a call, an email, a face at the door, a sentence that arrives wrapped in calm, and you will sense the soft click of alignment. Do not argue with it because it is quieter than you expected. Your life has been loud in its trials, your blessing does not need to announce itself with noise. Receive it with the same reverence you wanted others to show your pain. Receiving well is not a talent you missed, it is a grace I am giving you now. It will look like breathing slowly when you sign the paper. It will look like listening fully when the person speaks. It will look like responding with gratitude rather than rushing to control every variable. Control has not kept you safe. My presence has. You will discover in these hours that presence is enough to open the right doors and make the wrong ones uninteresting. You have asked if this will last. Hear me, what I give has the architecture of endurance. I am not placing you on a roller coaster of event-based worth. I am planting you by a river. Trees by rivers still feel wind, and they still hear storms, but they do not uproot every season to chase better weather. You are learning that steadiness is not boredom, it is beauty that refuses to perform for applause. The one thing you are receiving will teach steadiness. It will make room for celebration, yes, but it will also make room for quiet breakfasts and unhurried evenings and the relief of not bracing for impact all the time. It will not make you untouchable, it will make you unshakable. There will still be days when questions outnumber answers, but the questions will not demand rent from your chest. Peace will live there, and questions will learn to knock. Forgive the versions of yourself that couldn't have carried today's blessing. They were not enemies, they were stages. Thank them for surviving, for trying, for learning. Bless the mentors who stayed and the ones who left, each taught you something about what love is and what it is not. Release the resentment that tries to sneak in as you rise. Resentment says, I will not move until everyone who hurt me apologizes. Freedom says, I will move because I am called. Choose freedom. I am your vindication, not embarrassment served cold. The story I am telling with your life does not need a villain to be interesting, it needs your consent to be beautiful. Consent again now. Say yes again, with the new strength that comes from being seen and chosen and prepared. In these next moments you may feel like crying without a reason you can explain to anyone else. Let the tears come, they are not weakness, they are a release valve opening to make room for joy. If laughter follows, let it. If silence follows, honor it. If a nap follows, take it without guilt. Rest is not a failure of productivity, it is a sign you trust that goodness does not evaporate when your eyes close. You are allowed to be at ease in the presence of my gift. The world taught you to clutch because gifts were scarce and love was transactional. My kingdom teaches you to steward because gifts are purposeful and love is covenant. Stewardship will not exhaust you, it will focus you. You will notice how quickly you say no to distractions that once lured you, not because you are stricter now, but because you are satisfied. Speak blessing over yourself in simple sentences. Say, I receive what God gives. Say, I walk in peace. Say, I am allowed to be happy while things become whole. Say, I do not sabotage my own joy. Words shape weather. Choose the climate you will inhabit by partnering your tongue with my heart. When fear tries to forecast storms, let gratitude report real-time sunlight. Gratitude is not denial, it is orientation. Face the light. Your face will shine not with strain but with the ease of someone finally standing where they were always invited. If you wonder how to honor me when the gift arrives, start with this: enjoy it. Enjoyment is worship when it refuses to forget the giver. Share as I lead you, not as guilt demands. Celebrate with those who celebrate and bless those who cannot. Their season will come, and your gentleness will become a path for them as well. Do not fear jealousy, it cannot take what I give. Do not fear misunderstanding, I will translate your joy to the hearts that need to hear hope at the sound of your laughter. Keep your eyes open for opportunities to sow, but remember that sowing is not self-erasure. You are not returning to a life where you must disappear so others feel safe. Shine within the boundaries of wisdom, and watch how wisdom protects your shine from becoming a spotlight that blinds you. I am with you in this exact minute, and I will be with you 2 hours from now when the hinge swings, and I will be with you tonight when the room becomes quiet again. My witness is the deeper gift beneath every other gift. Learn it like a favorite song. Hum it when you wash your hands. Whisper it when you lock the door. Sing it when you open the new. I am here, and everything I place in your hands will carry the same fragrance, so you never have to wonder if I left when the miracle arrived. I am not the God of temporary appearances, I am the God who abides. Now open. Open your posture, open your words, open your day, open your heart. Archangel Michael has already cleared the space of what is not for you. Do not chase what is leaving, bless it as it goes. Do not doubt what is arriving, bless it as it lands. Stand in the doorway with me and watch how the light behaves, how it does not ask permission to be itself, how it moves into corners that forgot the sun, how it warms what once shivered. This is how my favor behaves in your life, not as an interruption, but as a sunrise. You do not need to deserve the dawn, you only need to wake. The hour is moving. The bell is still ringing. Take the step. Answer the call. Receive the message. Open the door. Breathe the peace. Smile without apologizing. And when the question rises, will this really be for me? Hear my answer layered over every breath you take. Yes, beloved, this is for you. Not because you forced my hand, but because you took my hand. Keep it in yours, and let's walk into the gift together. I speak into this hour with a nearness that brushes your skin like wind before rain, and I call your heart to attention, because what has been delayed is no longer delayed, and what has been withheld is no longer withheld. The time is not endless, the sand is not infinite, 2 hours stand like 2 bright sentinels at the gate of your turning. And I am the one who opens the gate and escorts you through it. I am not far away, I am the voice inside the stillness, the warmth inside the winter, the certainty that lifts your chin when shadows try to press it down. My hand is upon you now, steady and kind, and I have sent Michael to announce what your spirit already feels trembling inside. Congratulations, beloved, because I am placing in your life the one thing your soul has reached for in the night and could never fully name by daylight. You asked for signs, I gave you flickers. You asked for answers, I gave you whispers. Today I give you a door, and the door is opening. There were years when the ground seemed to swallow your seed and give you only dust in return. There were mornings when you woke and the air felt like a wall, and evenings when you lay down and your thoughts were a storm that refused to break over the fields. I was there in those hours, counting your breaths as if they were pearls dropped into a deep bowl, not one of them wasted, not one of them unseen. I took every tear and turned it in my palm like a clear stone. I listened to every word you dared to speak and every word you were too tired to say. I did not despise your weakness. I did not turn away from your messy middle. I did not abandon you when the road lost its name and your courage lost its voice. I walked the unseen side of your days and stood the silent guard of your nights. And because I am faithful, the harvest hidden under hard soil has ripened where you could not see it. That is why your heart is quickening now, that is why your skin feels the air change, that is why your inner ear hears a bell, distant but distinct. It is not your imagination. It is fulfillment approaching. Michael stands at the threshold with a banner in his hand, and the banner reads, "It is time." He has watched with the patience of the ancient hills and the swiftness of the lightning he carries. He has scouted the pathways where discouragement tried to ambush you, and he has cleared the debris that fear piled across your steps. He has stood between you and accusation, between you and condemnation, between you and the echo of old failures that tried to rename you. He announces joy today, not as a suggestion and not as a maybe, but as a decree. Where your longings were stitched together with fragile thread, I am replacing them with woven certainty. Where your hope walked with a limp, I am setting its bones and restoring its stride. Where your hands shook over empty baskets, I am placing into those same hands the one thing your journey has been circling beneath every prayer, not a trinket, not a distraction, but a key that fits the lock you have leaned against for so long. You have thought, perhaps, that the one thing must be the specific shape you pictured on your best days, the exact outline of relief you sketched when you were trying to believe. But hear me. The gift I give is not smaller than your hope and not larger than your capacity. It is precise to the design I placed inside you when I first called your name. For some, the one thing is reconciliation where a voice went silent and a face turned away. For some, it is provision that arrives like rain on a field grown brittle. For some, it is clarity that parts the fog and points like a compass needle to true north. For some, it is courage shaped like an open door, compelling the foot forward. For some, it is rest that finally lands and refuses to leave. For you, beloved, it will be the convergence you have sensed but could not force, the alignment of my timing, your readiness, and the place I have reserved for your feet. I am not handing you a burden disguised as a blessing. I am placing in your life a living answer that breathes with grace and carries my imprint, and when you touch it, something in you will exhale a yes that has waited for years. I have watched you practice faith when no audience applauded, and I have counted that private faith as gold. You did not know that every small yes in the dark was writing a script for light. You stayed when leaving looked easier. You believed when cynicism offered you a chair. You forgave when anger proposed a crown. You kept the lamp lit even when oil was low, and you refused to trade your inheritance for the cheap comfort of immediate relief. These choices have a voice in heaven. They have been speaking your name in rooms where answers are born. Do not think I overlooked any of it. Do not think I forgot. Harvest is a law I wrote into the structure of creation, and it is also a promise I tucked into your personal story. Seeds become seasons, seasons become songs, songs become doors. The door that opens now carries the melody of every yes you sang when it was hard. 2 hours left is not a threat, it is a kindness. It is the bell that calls you in from the field to wash and dress for the banquet you did not know had been set. It is the rhythm of readiness, the sacred countdown that moves your heart from worry into focus. Hear me, stop rehearsing the old losses. Stop narrating the future with the voice of former disappointments. Stop assuming that the next step will be a repeat of the last sorrow. That was then. This is me, here, with you, now. Lift your head. Align your inner speech with my promise. If you must speak, speak in the tense of completion. It is done, it is arriving, it belongs to me because he said so. There is power in this agreement. It is not denial of difficulty but acceptance of my dominance over it. Your agreement is a door handle, grasp it. I am not asking you to perform a miracle, I am inviting you to open your hands. People who love you may not understand this hour. People who envy you may try to assign an explanation that subtracts me from the story. Let them talk, I will write. Let them guess, I will show. The one thing I place in your life will not be something you must exhaust yourself to keep, as though every dawn threatens to snatch it away. The blessing I give is anchored in my character. I do not rush you to the edge just to watch you fall, I do not raise you only to enjoy your fear of heights. I establish, I root, I steady. The blessing I give will fit like a promise fulfilled and sit in your days like a chair made to your measure. Michael is not only announcing, he is escorting. He walks ahead to flatten the ridges the enemy tried to raise overnight. He shines light into the seams of your path where a trip or snare would wait. He does not come empty-handed. He carries a sword of clarity and a shield of quiet. Where noise swelled around you, opinions, accusations, urgencies not yours to hold, he lifts the shield and the noise breaks like a wave against rock. Where confusion braided itself into knots inside your mind, he cuts the cords and restores simplicity. This is the step, this is the hour. This is the peace. Listen for his steps, they sound like courage walking. When fear reaches for your shoulder, you will feel his hand instead, and you will remember that you are not walking alone. I have prepared the right people as well, those who will recognize what I am doing and will not try to shrink it to fit their comfort. I have turned hearts in rooms you have not yet entered, and their favor is not random, it is response. Do not beg where I have given you a seat. Do not whisper where I have given you a voice. Do not apologize for the light I place upon you as though brightness were arrogance. Humility is not hiding, humility is carrying what I hand you with clean hands and a steady heart, giving me the credit and giving others the fruit. The one thing arriving will require stewardship, not fear, gratitude, not guilt, focus, not frantic movement. I will teach you how to carry it, and I will teach you how to rest while carrying it. I remember when you thought the road had ended. I remember when you stood at a wall and declared that was that. But the wall had a hinge you could not see. The hinge is turning now. The creak you hear is not danger, it is history moving aside. You will look back on this day and call it by a new name, not the day of dread, not the day of almost, but the day.